The Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, home to the Reds, and it's game number 1 of a 3-game series, the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. The Cardinals come in with a record of 74-54, and a nice night now as the rain is cleared out, hopefully for good tonight. Temperature in the low 70s, and with Jim Hayes, the Cards Hall of Famer Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. And the Cardinals begin a stretch of baseball to maybe get even more separation inside the Central Division. Starting tonight, the next 13 games, the Reds, Cubs, Nationals, and Pirates. So a chance to maybe get that separation that St. Louis would love to have, owning right now currently a 6-game lead in the NL Central.
Yeah, I think you have to really take advantage of this situation here, but you know how it goes, Danny. You can't take and tread too lightly, because anybody can sneak up and grab you and bite you in this game.
So the Cardinals, it's been a tremendous month of August. They are 20-6. The Dodgers 20-5, so a little bit better winning percentage. And the Cardinals here in this month, they have been averaging 6 runs a game. So it's just a combination of everything coming together and getting healthier as well, as they have opened up this 6-game lead, and the Reds come in 23 games back of St. Louis. Cincinnati is 50-76, and at home they are 10 games below the 500 mark. David Bell trying to figure out a combination to get him through this stretch of ball games in which they have been injured a ton. And Chase Anderson going tonight, the 59th player to appear in a game for the Reds. That extends their club record for number of players in a season. Previous record was held by the 03 club. That was 57, but Chase Anderson becomes number 59 tonight.
Yeah, new guy in, obviously. Came straight from AAA with, I believe, Detroit. And you know what's crazy, too, is it got off to a really slow start. I believe, Danny, we made fun of it earlier, but it's no joking matter. Like 3-22. And I was talking to some guys here in the front office, and they said that might be the way they finish because of the injuries and how young they're getting right now, or how young they are, throwing some very inexperienced young players out there. And look at the injuries.
Tyler Stevenson, Moustakas, Votto, all out. Joey Votto, by the way, saying tonight it has become very important to him to finish his career wearing a Reds uniform. He wants to finish here in Cincinnati and play for just one team.
Yeah, I would think it would be interesting, too, getting to the point now, especially with the shoulder, for a player at that age, and I'm not saying at that age, but that age, ready to rehab a shoulder is tough. I rehabbed my shoulder when I was 28 years old. And it stayed with me for a long time, so it's going to be a wait and see for Joey Votto. Hopefully he gets through it and gets himself healthy.
Interesting to see that right there, as Ali was talking with Yadier Molina. At the top of the St. Louis lineup, it is Lars Nootbaar and then Brendan Donovan, a couple of lefties. The MVP right now of the National League, it has to be Paul Goldschmidt going for the Triple Crown. Then Nolan Arenado, very good numbers against Anderson. He's 8 for 27 with 4 home runs. Tyler O'Neill. Albert Pujols is at first base. Goldie the DH. Dickerson in left. Andrew Kisner behind the plate. And Tommy Edman at short, the switch hitter for St. Louis. So Chase Anderson is going tonight, and he's a right-hander for the Cincinnati Reds. And Anderson spent last month as a AAA reliever, and that was with Tampa. He was with their AAA affiliate, opted out of his minor league deal Thursday, signed with the Reds, joined the club Saturday, and there's his Hyundai pitch arsenal, so we'll see what he's got tonight. Yeah, he's a very interesting story. As you take a look at fastball, changed up predominantly. Not really worried about the whiffs because things change a lot over time. He spent a lot of time, like you said, in the minors, different organizations in the minors than the big leagues. Really crazy journey for Chase Anderson. And I found this interesting fact, Danny. I've never seen this. He was drafted 3 different times, 3 years.
and turned them down obviously until the last one. But I've never seen a guy drafted 3 times, maybe twice. But very interesting. Drafted out of high school, then drafted out of his first year, maybe a college, junior college, and then 2 years, both of those by the Mets. That was funny. It was 06 and 07, and then 09. Skipped the year, obviously went to Oklahoma, and then drafted again in 09 and still going.
And the first pitch taken on the outside corner by Lars Nootbaar.
How many times do you think you could remember a guy getting drafted?
Not
3
many
times.
I mean, it's happened, especially those that are injured and are trying to move up in a draft class. So you do see it. It's there, but not very often.
The 2 perfect scenarios could be high school, maybe junior, senior, or high school, junior, college, and then college.
And the check swing. And that's hit out of play off the bat of Lars Nootbaar, who has started every game since July 24th. In his last 31 games, he's got 14 extra base hits and 23 runs scored. And that's taken inside. I just enjoy watching these young guys play. And Lars would be at the top. Plays with a passion. He plays with a smile on his face. He's always having fun. The 2-2. And it tails back in low and a full count. First pitch was at 8:11, so a delay of 1 hour and 31 minutes. And our temperature very comfortable. It was warm, muggy here in the River City of Cincinnati, but it's cooled off. And there is a strikeout on a late call by Mark Ripperger. And that's how we begin the ball game. Rookie of the year, Jonathan India. And he has been hurt and gone back and forth off the IL and then back in their everyday lineup and swinging a hot bat right now. He's at second. Moran is at first. Farmer, Solano on the left side. Chucky Robinson behind the plate. Fairchild, Friedel, and Fraley in the outfield. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers.
Speaking of Chucky Robinson, I think he really sold that last strike on Nootbaar. Did a nice job of pulling it up.
Here's Brendan Donovan riding a 10-game hitting streak, 421 during the 10-game streak. Finds a way to get on and go deep into counts. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out and nobody on. Jimmy, you go back to July 15th. Brendan Donovan has a .441 on-base percentage, one of the best in all of baseball.
We've got a lot of guys that have contributed since the All-Star break over the last couple months, and one big key guy right here that's not named Arenado, Pujols, and Goldschmidt.
Breaks his bat and grounds out to second baseman Jonathan India. And here is Goldschmidt, who comes into play, having homered in 4 consecutive games against the Reds. And in those 4 games, he has 5 home runs.
Well, this is a good place to hit for a guy like him because you can really sell yourself to right center field. And that is how you hit, staying on the ball, driving the ball up the middle the other way. So this makes a guy like Goldie even better. You take a look, like I said, at Chucky Anderson. It's only got a lot of energy back there for being a catcher, and in August, and it's only got 10 games in the big league. So that's a lot of movement and a lot of energy for that young man going on right now, doing some nice frame work on these guys.
And Anderson ahead in the count, 0-2 on Paul Goldschmidt with 2 outs and nobody on. Sparse crowd, to say the least, here in Cincinnati. The 0-2, and that is off the plate. Cardinals are 32-32 now on the road, back to 500, and one of the best teams in baseball at home. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know you had mentioned a little bit about Anderson, but I was kind of shocked to see 114 at bats for this team against Chase Anderson. So it's not like he is going to sneak up on them, but the stuff will still show you what's going on tonight.
In a 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts as Anderson is back in the bigs. For St. Louis tonight, and a record at an even 10-10. You take away the one start that was a brutal start that he had in Denver. And the numbers in terms of the ERA would be even better. But it's been a good year for Miles Mikolas.
Yeah, you know, when you watch this game every day like we do, as you look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal right here, and it's basically, you're going to see the kitchen sink. I mean, not the same stuff, not the same body, but basically you're looking at a little bit of Adam Wainwright's protege, I would think, with the way he pitches now with the breaking ball and pitching backwards at times. But like you said, you watch him, you won't believe he would be 10-10 with the stuff that he's featured this year if you don't pay attention to the record and watch the TV. So we'll see what he's got tonight.
Here's a look at the starting lineup for David Bell. Jonathan India riding an 11-game hitting streak coming into play. Home run, 9 runs scored during the streak. And the first pitch to him is a strike. 253 the average with the 8 home runs, and he's driven in 28.
Might have a good strike zone tonight.
And good pitchers will take advantage of the wide or low or high strike zone, whatever it may be. And it's 0-2.
Yeah, a lot of guys hurt, right? I'm wondering if you can, like, without saying it out loud, is a team that is playing like this more apt to put some of their stars on the DL when they're kind of borderline because of their record, and say, okay, well, we don't want it to get worse and maybe we'll just try again next year?
Some teams might take that model, but also, and there's a strikeout of India on 3 pitches. I also think, though, the integrity of the game, you play them out.
Well, I don't think it's that drastic, but I'm saying is if there's a guy that you don't want to push, risk further injury, I think you would bounce into maybe the IL a little bit more. I'm not saying guys will just bail out, but you know, I was thinking maybe, you know, guys are playing for at bats, guys are playing for numbers, but you know, when you're down in the field and you're beat up, you don't even think about that stuff, especially when you're playing on a losing team. So, you know, maybe a little bit of that into play with all those injuries and all the roster moves. You can kind of tinker a little bit more when you're not in the hunt.
Jake Fraley, left-handed batter, picked up in the deal with Seattle. Luis Castillo went to the Mariners, and Fraley came to Cincinnati.
You would say they're not in the hunt, correct?
That's the understatement of the night.
That'll be correct.
There's a fastball and a good one, and it's 2-1.
The night's not over yet.
But they really could put a dent in the Cardinals' hopes of winning because of the matchups here. You've got 3 beginning tonight with the Reds, and then there's a 5-game series at Busch against Cincinnati. So they could play spoiler. And there's the second strike. 2-2 the count. Mikolas lost to the Cubs on Wednesday, his last start. 5 runs, 3 earned. He went 6 2/3. And the 2-2 pitch missed in and a full count. If you go back to early July, the Reds are actually at 500, 22-22 in their past 44 games. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Look at that fastball right there, 95. Talk about finishing someone with authority. 95 4-seamer up and in the hand hole, basically. There's a spot there where you just can't get to it, especially at that velocity.
Albert Pujols at first base tonight as we go around the horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Donovan, Edman, Arenado along with Albert on the infield. Kisner behind the plate. Dickerson, O'Neill, Nootbaar. That trio in the outfield. Here's Kyle Farmer. He's hitting .254. And a liner caught it short by Tommy Edman. He had a great play last night too at shortstop against the Braves.
Does it surprise you? Another nice play.
Key to the game.
Well, I mean, this could be the key to the game every day, but today just hit, and hit. Get going, get some runs on the board. I love Tony La Russa's old analogy of playing deep into the second half, and when you're playing teams that are not playing for anything, you get ahead of them, and they sometimes will just fold right out in front of you. So hit, and drive the ball into right center field, please. See some homers into those red seats up there.
And the 0-1 pitch to Arenado in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinals have won their last 3 series against winning opponents. 7 of 9 they have won from the Brewers, the Yankees, and the Braves. And this past weekend was an outstanding series for the Cardinals. Arenado pulls it foul. They were pounded in game 1, 11-4. It was a blowout. And then you had 2 come from behind wins. And they were just such exciting style of play in baseball late.
That's good baseball, Danny, especially against that team. I was listening to the telecast, and you could kind of hear, you guys talk about how good the Braves are, and for a good reason, right? And this, this is a good test. I was even listening to it on the radio a little bit. I heard it on the other channels on Sunday night. And this team just kept playing, and that is a winning team.
Hit up the middle. There's India. He was shaded towards second base. And that's 4 up and 4 down for Chase Anderson. Be interesting to see how deep he goes in this game. Won't be all that long because he was working out of the bullpen at the AAA affiliate of the Rays. So they're anticipating maybe 45, 50 pitches tonight. Tyler O'Neill. He had the walk-off walk in game 2 over the weekend, and then the 3-run 8th inning home run last night. And the first pitch drops in for a strike in quite the moment last night at Busch Stadium. Freezes lawn in center. And O'Neill hits one a ton. Oh my. Way out of here, and it's 1-0 Cardinals on the 0-1 pitch. Tyler O'Neill with his 11th home run.
That was a bomb. Can't wait to watch this replay, because watching the highlight and then looking up to look for the ball, I lost it, and where it lands, they don't go up that far very often. Wow. This ball lands in the aisle up here where these white signs are. Wow.
All right, here's Albert Pujols, who's in the starting lineup. He has never homered against Anderson. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes.
Gonna slow himself down a little bit right there, Chase Anderson.
And the 2-0 pitch. Outside corner and a strike, and it's now 2-1. Mammoth home run hit by O'Neill, his 11th, and he's driven in 51. The 2-1 pitch. Albert, a base hit into center. So starting Jimmy against a right-handed pitcher, you talked about it from the beginning of the season. Get him in the right situation against righties, and this man will make the adjustment, and he's done it.
Well, I was watching the game last night. I was kind of not happy with the way ESPN portrayed him this year. And they just kept talking left-handed this, left-handed that, left-handed this. And finally, by the end of the time, they ran out of stuff to say that was really irrelevant, because he's playing a lot against both. And then they showed his numbers in the last couple months, and they're number 1 and number 2 in all of baseball. Didn't say left or right. So, hey, what happened here? Like, don't forget, he's playing against righties too, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Can't listen to what people tell you can't do, and he is doing the opposite of what everyone thought was going to happen, and I love it. And it is great when you see him get a base hit off a righty, homers off a righty, and I think that's really helped him lock in.
Here's Corey Dickerson and the 0-1. Dickerson has really picked it up here for the Cardinals. Checks in with a .274 average.
2 back-to-back changeups right there. I think that was a pretty smart move right there, Chase Anderson. You can tell he's been around. Hasn't pitched in the big league since 2021. But pitched enough to say, okay, slow down, home run, a couple balls, then the walk to Albert, and then a couple of changeups in a row to see if he can't get his mechanics back, stop from rushing. Can you imagine what he must feel right now? And pitched in a year, almost a year to the month, but a year and a couple of weeks ago. And he's faced these Cardinals before, so he knows what he has in front of him, but he's going to be fighting for a career again, you know?
Absolutely. And the 1-2. Dickerson, a base hit into right field. Albert to second base. He'll stop there. And runners at first and second, and 3 consecutive hits here for the Cardinals.
Dickerson is unreal. These balls weren't finding holes early in the year, and now they are. And oh hum, he's hitting .500 in his last 7 games.
A 10 for 10 will do that for you too.
Oh my gosh, can't even imagine. Could barely make it to work 10 days in a row.
I've noticed. The wins over the weekend, the Cardinals now have 29 come from behind victories. And so a season high 20 games above 500. And that's the highest since the final regular season game in 2019. That's the sign of a good team. They come from behind victories, and the Cardinals are starting to get those and have been getting them through the second half.
It kind of reminds me of those good teams we've seen over the years, and not just the teams I was on, the teams with Matt Holliday, who was just in town, and you know, the teams after I left with Albert talked about winning the World Series and coming on late. Good teams find a way to win, but also good teams play 9 innings, and they play a gritty 9 innings where they don't give away at bats. You don't see a lot of strikeouts, and they put the ball in play. Perfect example right there with the way that Dickerson's been playing. Just keeps finding a way to get things started, drive in runs, and Kisner with a big home run the other day. I mean, it's just everybody's pitching in.
So 1 out and 2 runners on, and Kisner looks at a strike. His last 5 games, he's 7 for 16. And in 72 plate appearances going back to July 12th, he's hitting .344, and his on-base percentage is near .350, and that's the highest among all catchers in the game.
Well, he's always been streaky, but then you can't be streaky when you don't play that much. And then he played a lot early when Yachty got hurt. He hit the ball pretty well. Then he went through a really rough patch where he was hitting every single ball at somebody. And I mean, talk about when you feel bad for someone watching them from up above, especially because he's not a full-time guy. You just help. You're sitting up here, you can't help but feel bad for him. And then finally it starts to break through, and good for him because he just kept going at it. And if anyone deserves a little bit of happiness, it is him.
The 2-1 pitch. 3-1. Tommy Edman, the switch hitter on deck, and Russ Detweiler, a lefty, is throwing in the pen for Cincinnati. A 3-1 pitch to Andrew Kisner, and now the bases are loaded. 3 consecutive hits, the walk, and here's Tommy Edman.
Tell you what, he's got this.
Last night, that was such a key play and homer in the game to get him tied up late. And then eventually the Cardinals would win it against Atlanta.
I love how the pitchers always look like, how did that happen? Well, have you noticed this guy can hit, especially on the right side?
You're going to make mistakes too.
Yeah, exactly.
Now time is cold. Tommy on the year, 253. The 10 home runs, he's driven in 44. The Cardinals have the bases loaded. First pitch. Edman, a base hit into right. 2 runs will score. Kisner on his way to third. Tommy to second with a double. And St. Louis has opened up a 3-0 lead. 5 consecutive Cardinals have reached base.
Nice piece of hitting by Tommy. First pitch hitting, looking for a fastball, was able to keep his hands back on the changeup, and just gets it to the outfield grass is what you need to do.
The 22nd double for Tommy Edman. And this may be it for Anderson. And that'll be all. And now Detweiler will come in for the Cincinnati Reds. 5 consecutive hits. O'Neill, the long home run. Pujols, a base hit to center. Dickerson, base hit to right. Kisner, the walk. Edman, the double. 3-0. Ross Detweiler, who was born in St. Louis, graduated from Holt High School in Wentzville, pitched 3 seasons at then Southwest Missouri State, now Missouri State. And so he's been around a long time, and now coming out of the bullpen for the Reds, it'll be Lars Nootbaar. Cardinals, 5 consecutive batters reaching base, and that chases Anderson inning in a third. 4 hits, a couple of strikeouts, a home run, a walk, and he's responsible for the runners at second and third.
See Detweiler coming out of the pen, like you said. All 5 pitches, pretty much everything. Fastball average right around 92. Pretty good heater from the left side. Get to see a lot of things going on tonight, but you don't ever see a lot of guys, especially lefties, with fastball, cutter, slider, changeup, and curveball.
Base hit into right off the bat of Nootbaar. 1 run in. Edman held at third, and Nootbaar wisely on his way to second.
Playing the game. Play the game. Take advantage of every opportunity. And by the way, this is a great at bat right here by Noot. Get the first pitch fastball. Guys trying to get ahead. Don't try to do too much, but put it in play hard. Lines up with a base hit. Good job right here.
Cardinals, we were talking with Barry Larkin, and he was asking us about how the Cardinals play the game, and he said this has been Cardinal baseball for as long as I can remember. Things like this, taking the extra base, playing smart. And this is Brendan Donovan.
And the 2 guys named that came up were these 2, Nootbaar and Donovan.
So 1 out, runners at second and third. And the next to Donovan. A ball and a strike.
About that, you got Noot going after it and him taking pitches.
This guy right here, our Kia player profile, Jimmy, this is a winning ball player.
Yes, sir.
He is a winning ball player. He does a lot of little things right. And the 1-1 pitch. May not be the best, may not be the most talented, but you're going to look up at the end of the season and he's going to do things that will win you the game.
Well, I heard you on the plane last night give him one of the biggest compliments I've ever heard you give anyone. And you said, if I had a team, this guy would be on it. Because of his grittiness and the way he plays the game.
100%.
You would find a way to get him in the lineup.
Base hit into right off the bat of Donovan. 1 run in. Here comes Nootbaar. He will score. Brendan Donovan drives in a pair. He's driven in 37. And the Cardinals have opened up a big lead. It's 6-0 here in the top of the second.
And how about this, what you don't see very often? Run support for Miles. Don't forget about that part.
Good point.
Another good piece of hitting.
So Brendan Donovan now with an 11-game hitting streak. And here's Goldschmidt, who struck out his first time up. And a swing and a miss. Since he became a Cardinal, 13 doubles, 12 home runs, and a .294 average for Goldie against the Reds. That officially closes the book on Anderson, as he gives up 5 of the 6 runs.
How many times you look at the scorecard and see 6 hits early on, and the only 2 guys that don't have hits are Goldie and Arenado?
That's rare.
First time through. And Kisner, but still, this game will surprise you every day, give you something new to talk about.
The big gap in left center. Cardinals have jumped out to a 6-0 lead with 6 hits, all coming in this second inning. And the 1-2 pitch. And you have a lefty come in, and the Cardinals crush left-handed pitching. They're one of the best teams in baseball against lefties. Goldschmidt is on another planet when it comes to facing a lefty. And then you got Albert, obviously, Arenado. The 2-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. And Goldie strikes out for the second time. And the inning began with Nolan Arenado grounding out sharply to second. And he's up for the second time here in inning number 2. To further the point about Donovan, give me 9 of him and we'll compete. We'll be just fine.
Winners. Detweiler, you were talking about him being from Missouri. Number one pick for the Nationals.
First round pick. Yeah.
First round pick in 2007. It was the 6th overall pick. Talk about high energy. Hello there, James.
I think we just heard from the cat.
Cat's getting locked in down there.
The 2-0 pitch, and it's popped up left side. Under it, Solano near the line, and he'll make the catch. The Cardinals 6 hits, 6 runs. Started with Tyler O'Neill and a mammoth blast out to left. Good start to the series. Redbirds on top. Let's check in with Jim Hayes.
What do you got in those paws today, Jimmy?
Gentlemen, every once in a while I feel the need to revisit the topic of Tyler O'Neill's home run trots. He flies around the bases intentionally. Tyler told me, I'm not here to waste people's time. I'm not a bat flip guy. I'm not looking to show anyone up. I just want to get around the bases and get the next guy up. Danny Tyler says he's just trying to play the game the way he believes is the right way. He's definitely old school.
It's an old school trot, and it's one of the fastest trots in all of baseball. It's probably faster. His trot is probably faster than some players if they were going full speed.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
And the 1-1 is served into right field and fair off the bat of Donovan Solano inside the first base line. And so a leadoff base hit. Donovan Solano was in the minor leagues for the Cardinals for many, many years and finally broke through at a good season with San Francisco, and now batting cleanup on August 29th of this 2022 season for the Reds. TJ Friedl. Nolan Arenado way off the line at third, even with the bag. And the first pitch taken for a ball outside. There are some combinations that seem to work better than others, and one thing that stands out about Kisner, he's worked very well with Miles Mikolas.
I think once you start to get a feel, you know, as far as combination of pitches, speaking of combination, and it's not just being on the same page as far as every single pitch, but it's being in the range of pitches, right? It's not going all the way through every pitch and every count. It's, okay, he usually likes cutter or slider here.
A 4-6-3 double play. Cardinals get it. They turn that double play. The 120th ground ball double play turned by the Cardinals this year.
You know what I mean? It's like not putting down fastball and having to go through curveball, slider, changeup. It's kind of like, I know he wants off speed. Which one is it going to be? So you only have 2 choices, let's say. A nice play right there. Gets a ground ball and a quick, strong throw from Tommy.
Also love the feed. It's, I think, Brendan Donovan appreciation night, but sometimes a second baseman will kind of pivot the hips and sidearm it there to the shortstop, or quickly get it out of the glove and make that play.
Make a play, CC. That was a good one. That's a good toss right here. I don't know how that happens. I just really don't.
I remember a time or two with you, Jimbo.
Well, I did it on purpose.
Oh, you did?
Like Yachty, you throw the bat at the slider down and away.
Yeah.
I think, and Scott Rowland with his bottom hand would come off once in a while, but I've never seen guys that swing and just launch bats. Especially, I mean, look how much stickum is on there. Problem is that stuff gets so old in that kind of stickum starts to just get hard and it's not sticky anymore.
And a pitch taken outside, and it's a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Nick Senzel. Reds have talked about having him be a super utility player next year. They're going to move him all over the diamond. On a hop to Nolan Arenado, stays with it. So the single, then erased on a double play, and Senzel rounds out to third. 6-0 St. Louis. Tyler O'Neill with a home run back in the 2nd inning. Part of that 6-run 2nd inning. And a swing and a miss. Cardinals have counted so much on Goldie Arenado this year. We talk about it a lot, but if this guy can get going to the form that he was at the end of last year, watch out.
Well, it would be nice just because obviously for him, but then just to pick up those guys too when they're having nights off, not feeling good. You know, you see Goldie already with the 2 strikeouts. He's 0 for 2, and look at the rest of the group going nuts. So it's exactly the winning recipe, and that's right here. I mean, it's just kind of taking a swing like that is just fires everyone up, especially as far as that ball went.
And the 1-1 is swung on and missed.
You know what I like too, Danny, that I said earlier in the year that it looked like sometimes he's trying to hit the ball to right field. So he's moving his hips out of the way to try to hit it over there. He's not doing that as much now, and he's letting it fly, and that is a good sign.
The 1-2. Explain that a little bit for a viewer at home. What are you seeing?
I feel like when you try to stay on the ball, sometimes it's like golf. You try to clear your hips a little bit to get your hands inside to hit it to the opposite field. And if you start practicing on it so much to stay on the ball and go the other way, you start to manipulate the ball the other way. So you start moving body parts that don't need to be moved. And so now you're opening up, trying to fillet balls into right. That's not how it works. Hitting balls deep, like right there, how that ball, if he would have swung at it, he could have fouled that off to right field. Hitting balls deep is how you hit the ball to right field. And he has gone away from trying to hit the ball to right field to just hitting the ball now, and his shoulders are back normal and his hips are staying on ball. So it's a good thing for him. That's how you hit the ball to right. Nothing changes. You just stay through the ball and let it get deep. Where earlier he's kind of pulling off with his hips, dropping his hands into a slot and trying to force it over there. And that just doesn't work unless you get the perfect pitch.
Well, these swings look better.
Way better. It's been like this for now about 4 or 5 days.
And the 3-2. Fouled back.
There it was again. Perfect.
Isn't it amazing too? It could be something in BP or one game, but one swing.
Habits. Yep.
One swing can turn your season around.
The curveball. Chicago, the curveball. That curveball was just, saw it and he hit it. There was no trying to do anything special. It was just natural ability, and I think that kind of started it all over again.
3-2 pitch. And a good at bat. Takes a walk, and it brings in Albert Pujols.
It's a great at bat. 2 check swings on 2 borderline fastballs that were going to probably beat him, and he was able to hold up.
Albert with a base hit into center his first time up. He's had 693 home runs, 3 back of A-Rod. 7 away from 700. The first pitch. Taken for a strike. He is not homered against Detweiler. Hits a home run. It would be the 450th different pitcher that he is homered against. Breaking a tie with Barry Bonds. The 0-1 pitch. 0-2. Albert Pujols is hitting .412 since the All-Star break. 5 doubles, 8 home runs, and has driven in 18. In the hole here, 0-2. The 0-2 instead a check on O'Neill, who has 9 stolen bases this year. .385, the 16 extra base hits, over 1,200 OPS against the lefties. The next, Albert lifts it in the air out to deep right, at the wall, gone! 694 on an opposite field home run, and it's history. The 450th different pitcher that Albert is homered against. Nobody in the game has ever done that. And that baby is number 694.
Just sounds a little different off the bat, doesn't it?
It's incredible.
What were we talking with the Hall of Famer Barry Larkin today? When he starts to hit the ball the other way, he is locked in. And that's what got him to where he's at right now. And that is why he has put on a show in the second half. And there you go again.
A historic blast for the great Albert Pujols. 2 away now from Alex Rodriguez. The 450th different pitcher he's homered off of, passing Barry Bonds most all time. What a great shot that is there. His great friend Yadier Molina. Amazing. And Dickerson lines it into right field. Coming on to make the catch, Fraley. And the first out. Albert Pujols is crushing the baseball here in the second half, and what a swing that is. It's a thing of beauty. Wow.
So that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's the Tyler O'Neill's same swing. You see the body doesn't change. You just let the hands stay back a little bit and drive the ball the other way. The power comes from your body being behind the ball, not always having to hit the ball out front.
21st career home run at the Great American Ballpark for Albert Pujols. Amazing. And that's all you can. It's just amazing. 15 home runs now for Albert Pujols. Lined on a hop and taken there by Colin Moran on a backhanded play. And that'll be the second out.
I'm going to tell you about his luck. It's a nice play right there. Pretty good, my friend. Pretty good. I'm glad I was able to hold his hand out in left field for a first year. It's been so much fun to watch.
Here's Tommy Edman at a bases loaded double. First time up and looks at a strike.
You know, they say about people ask you if you're surprised at people when they do well, and you know, that's not surprising to me. What surprises me is what happened to him in Anaheim, because that surprises me, or he'd be at 800 by now.
And Edman lifts it in the air out to deep center. Over the head of Fredo. And that'll be a ground rule double, and Tommy has a pair of doubles as the Cardinals are pouring it on. It's 8-0 here early in this ball game.
Well, a good swing on the right side. Waits on a breaking ball. Such a good swing on the right side. He stays through the ball so much better. This ball is smoked. 103 miles an hour off the bat.
The top of the lineup, and Lars Nootbaar, who singled against Detweiler, the first man that Detweiler saw coming out of the pen, and picked up a run batted in with a base hit to right. That's off the plate.
That was a big at bat in this game, to be honest with you.
Sure was.
Bringing a lefty versus a lefty, and he gets up there and takes the first pitch into right field for an RBI, and then they just keep on rolling.
And the 2-0 pitch to Newbar. Popped up left side. Solano is over and out of play. A souvenir for a lot of Cardinal fans who have made the trip here to Cincinnati, right behind the St. Louis dugout.
Wonder what they're talking about.
If you're wondering about the 21 on the back of Yadi's hat, only Clemente Award winners get to wear that number 21. And the Cardinals have 3 of them in Wainwright, Albert Pujols, and Yadier Molina.
And they wonder why the Cardinals every year at the end, like Barry Larkin was saying, are in the thick of things. It's things like that. Great players and great humans.
And a 3-1 pitch to Newbar. Little chopper hit up the first base line, but foul.
Kenny, the Reds have 3 guys that have not hit yet. I always look at that when I'm in the outfield. In a game like this, I'm thinking, man, they're not even around the lineup yet. And we're our 3rd time through.
The race to 700 is within reach. I didn't think it would be at the beginning of the year. It's within reach. And a strikeout of Newbar. Albert Pujols' historic home run. Number 694 overall. He's homered off of 450 different pitchers. Nobody has ever done that in the game of baseball. Albert Pujols coming on an 0-2 pitch as a 42-year-old drives it out of the ballpark in right field.
Not surprised.
And he does it against a St. Louis native, Ross Detweiler. And the first pitch is swung on and missed by Stuart Fairchild. 7, 8, and 9 for the Reds in their lineup.
I was more surprised at him being as hot as he's been. He missed that fastball last night that we were talking about when he swung down through a heater down the middle. It looked like he almost tried to get out in front of it, caused him to be a little late and fouled it straight back. That's surprising because he changed his swing for that one pitch. It might have cost him at least a double, if not a homer.
And that pitch taken low, and it's a count now of 2 balls and 1 strike. It's impressive as 694 home runs is, and it's incredible. There's a drive into right field backing up Newbar, but 450 different major league pitchers.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
It's going to keep going up too, because I mean, think about the era. Like, how many guys has he homered off in the last few years? You know, it hasn't been that many.
Well, you also have September call-ups. You might see a young.
Oh, he'll get one of those guys for sure. That's a given. Speaking of September call-ups, are you going to give me back my charger, or are you just going to steal it for the rest of the night?
No, I need it for my iPad now.
Okay, well, I'm going to lose all of my stuff then.
That's probably a good thing. First pitch is taken low.
Plug it in right over here, please. Got lots of cords, but
you couldn't
no charger.
wait until between innings? I would have been happy to help you out then.
I'm dying.
All right, then. Maybe you should not be on your electronic devices.
My iPad right here that I'm keeping score with.
Maybe your attention should be towards.
I'm going to lose my stuff, Danny.
Your commentary and.
I'm going to lose my stuff.
Also, I don't know, maybe the game. That's fouled back.
Well, I mean, if you haven't realized, we watch monitors and stats and highlights and replays, and we got to have all these little things going. My phone can die. My
ball game, I'd do anything for you.
I know you would. I love you.
You're the best. There's Colin Moran. He has been a Cardinals killer and sends that out to left field. Corey Dickerson there to make the catch. While we have a moment, a quick word from Jack in the Box.
Mix good sauce with my new spicy good sauce for spicy good sauce.
You know, one of the things that I think you have to think about with the score already this early on, 8-0, it could get out of hand. So would you see a position player potentially come in this game for the Reds?
Maybe both teams.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a situation where Albert is facing a position player. I find myself trying to figure out the ways that Ollie is going to get Albert in a game. And that is fouled back. And the 1-1 pitch, fastball, and a strike to Chucky Robinson.
Miles is just picking the corners off with that fastball tonight.
And the 1-2 pitch just got a piece to stay alive.
Want to say hello to the great Alan Stout, resting at home tonight. Hello, my friend. We miss you. See you soon. Sure Danny feels the same way.
Stouty's the best. Got a chance to meet his mom and dad the other day. They were in the booth. Check swing, he went. That's a strikeout, number 3 for Miles Michaelis. 8-0 St. Louis as we move to the 4th. Well, the Cardinals batted around in the 2nd inning, part of a 6-run 2nd inning, and then Albert Pujols connecting with home run number 694, a 2-run shot in the 3rd. And here we are in the 4th, and the first pitch from the new right-hander Joel Kuhnel is a strike.
Fastball, slider, changeup, 96, 97. Short arm.
And Donovan puts it on the ground to Jonathan India. And the first out here in the 4th inning.
You see that right there. So many times that outfield grass comes into play with the second baseman. They're usually past it. Well, he was on it, and so he didn't know if he needed to come get it before it hit the grass or if he needed to stay back, and he kind of got himself in between. And with all these shifts and stuff, you don't see that happen very often, but that was right on the edge of being trouble.
And the batter is Paul Goldschmidt, who is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. In pursuit of that first National League Triple Crown since 1937, Joe Ducky Medwick. Goldie is leading in batting average. Shares the RBI lead with Pete Alonso at 105, and second in home runs to Kyle Schwarber, 2 back of the slugger of the Phillies. A legitimate shot at the Triple Crown. And a pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2. The next, and a rare 3 strikeout night for Paul Goldschmidt. For Breeze, fresh stats, Nolan Arenado month by month this season. So consistent. Had a down May, but outside of that, he has been outstanding. Could make a case that Arenado, Goldie, or Albert could be the player of the month.
Again?
Again.
Again. Well, he went home last offseason. He was not satisfied with the way that he played, and he has shown everyone that he means business.
The base hit with 2 outs off the bat of Nolan Arenado, his first hit tonight. And now everyone in this St. Louis lineup has reached base with the exception of Paul Goldschmidt. Statcast powered by Google Cloud. Tyler O'Neill with that mammoth home run that started the scoring back in the 2nd inning.
Not running fast enough, but it definitely is going to show the distance. That was a bomb.
And he's been on base twice. He has scored 2 runs tonight. And the runner at first is Nolan Arenado. First pitch is strike. Right now, with the way the Cardinals are playing, 20-6 in the month of August. The players were excited in the clubhouse today. Guys are wanting to get back out on the diamond and keep going. This is fun to come to the ballpark.
You don't want any days off now. Even if you're tired, you do not want to stop.
And the 1-1 hit out of play by O'Neill. 1-2. And a lot of folks disguised as seats tonight. Not much of a crowd. And those that are here say they have witnessed history with Albert Pujols. And the 1-2 pitch. I'll say it again. It's my constant theme. You have a young daughter, young son. They've never seen that man play, or number 4 or number 50. Get to the ballpark before they say goodbye. You can say you've watched the greatest hitter of his generation and one of the greatest hitters that ever played this game.
I was gonna say, like, you know, like numbers wise, imagine if he never got hurt, especially with the foot.
And a swing and a miss. And the COVID year too took away games. A couple of strikeouts for Kuno, and we're midway through 4. Bottom of the 4th rolls in, and the Cardinals lead 8-0. They about hit the Reds 9-1. Top of the lineup, and Jonathan India shift on the left side, and the first pitch taken for a ball. Two balls and no strikes.
Just a bit outside.
And he misses in. 3-0. Miles, one of the things that stands out about what he does on a nightly basis, his turn to throw in the rotation, is the fact that he does not go very deep into counts. You don't see a lot of 3-ball counts. He controls the strike zone. Very, very efficient. 3-1 pitch. Pulled foul, and now 3-2.
His adjustment on the fly, I think, is really good. Like, much better than most. Him and Adam Wainwright, for some reason, obviously not for some reason, but have a knack to take an inning, file it, figure it out, go right back out there, and be like, okay, I got to get back to this point. And they do such a great job of it, making adjustments during the game.
Arenado to his left, spins. What a play. The throw right at the chest of Albert Pujols. Tremendous from Nolan Arenado in the first out.
There's really no reason to set your feet when you're this good. I mean, he just spins and throws it with that strong arm. You see his head whip around first, picks up his target, and the body comes around and he just lets it go.
All right, ball game. I get to put you on the spot. You ready?
Sure. It's usually what happens during the course of a game at some point.
Are you calling me out? You saying I'm always putting you on the spot?
At some point.
And a high fly ball into right center. Backing up O'Neill, just enough room.
So you better hurry with Miles. He's liable to finish this off with one more pitch.
Compare Rolen and Arenado. I'm not going to ask you who's better, but
I can't. They, you know
I'm
what?
with you on this. I mean, it's tough.
The thing that Nolan does differently and probably better is his range. And I mean, not his range to catch the ball, his range to do what he just did there. Like Scott would catch that ball and stop, plant, and throw. Nolan will keep drifting and can, athletically, the two different types of players. Both big guys. But Scott was really big. Like I don't think people realize how big Scott Rowland is. I mean, I think that he probably outweighs Arenado by 20 pounds. He is big, thick, strong legs, big base, and
taller.
So he was a kind of a step and dive guy, or a kind of a catch the ball and run and then plant and throw guy, where Nolan has a little bit. It's funny too. Scott was Mr. Basketball growing up, so it's not like he wasn't athletic. Just
recruited by Bobby Knight.
Played the game a little bit differently, and Scott was taught, catch the ball, stop, throw it, and different generation. And Nolan can throw on the run a little bit differently. But
base hit for Kyle Farmer.
I don't know if I can't imagine. I've seen a lot of highlights, and one of my favorite people that I've ever gotten to meet was Brooks Robinson. I can't imagine him being as good as they say watching these two guys.
Well, Jim Cott said when he was in our booth a couple of weeks ago, the '82 reunion, he said Nolan Arenado is the best defensive third baseman I have ever seen.
It's another level, right? Athletic ability. It's like watching, you watch Goldie, right? And he just does things differently. You don't see a first baseman do the things that he does. You don't see a third baseman do the things he does with that kind of range. He reminds me of, like, if you were to when you move A-Rod from short to third. He's got that kind of ability, like that range. He's more of a shortstop. I think that's the only difference, but I don't know if they could get any better than both of those guys.
There's a 1-0 pitch to Donovan Solano, taken for a strike. Right now, the Reds have Raver San Martin getting loose in their pen, and he's a lefty. And Albert Pujols is due up first, looking ahead to inning number 5. Tapped out in front of the plate. Kisner hops on it. Fair ball, and the play is made.
Play.
Albert coming up. He's 2 for 2 with a home run. It's 8-0. The pen. And a reminder, for the best coverage in the game, check out the T-Mobile coverage cam. Albert Pujols is coming up. He is 2 for 2. A base hit to center, run scored, and then on an 0-2 pitch, this 2-run shot to right field. Best coverage in the game, T-Mobile.
Look at the angle of his body right there. He kind of opened up a little early, but he stayed back with his hands. But when he's made contact, did you see where his chest was? Over the plate. Reminds me like those Matt Holliday home runs, how he swings. When he just doesn't get cheated, but he just kind of stays over the ball.
And the first pitch to Albert. It was home run number 694, 2 back of A-Rod for 4th all-time in the history of Major League Baseball. And the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes.
Do you think Matt Holliday was the best you've ever seen at that?
He was pretty darn good at that.
Staying over the plate.
The 2-0. Wonder if Albert's got the green light. The 3-0. And now 3-1. Albert 1 for 2 against this lefty. Gets underneath it, and a fly ball into shallow right. Fraley under it and makes the catch. And Pujols is 2 for 3. While we have a moment, quick word from Tickets for Less. Tickets for Less, for a better ticketing experience. Best seats, best prices, and no surprises at checkout. Here's Corey Dickerson. He is 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. And the 0-1 is a swing and a miss. How's that charger going for you, ball game?
Oh, my computer and my iPad are working again.
I do have a question with that, if I may.
Yeah, of course. You like my charger?
Why? Yeah, it's a Jim Edmonds special. Who wouldn't want that?
It's multi-talented.
But you have a computer and the iPad and the phone. Why all three?
Well, I have a couple different things going on in a couple different places. There's different apps. There's different websites. There's a search engine. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Google.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. You type someone's name in, and it will give you information.
But Jimmy, you should have the information at the top of mind for you.
Yeah, but I'm not as good as you, so I have to do a little research, and I like to get a little fun facts every now and then, you know. Like my thing today with the starting pitcher, got drafted 3 different times. I thought that was interesting. I like that kind of stuff. You know, we were pulling names off of those runs scored list, the home run list. Like, the home run list isn't that, you know, it's been talked about so much.
India sliding for it, keeps it on the infield, but that'll be a base hit for Kisner.
Oh boy.
Who's on base twice tonight with a walk and now a single. There's Tommy Edman, 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. Speaking of Bueno, he was mic'd up during his warm-ups.
Did you ever get to hear it?
I watched it. It was great.
It's awesome.
I thought it was so insightful.
It was probably the best information / interview. Actually, I don't even know if it's an interview. It was more of a, I mean, it was an interview, but more of a teaching. I thought David Cohn handled it very well, and Adam was just magnificent. I mean, it was like amazing to listen to what he was having to say. And you know what I thought? I actually grabbed Landon and rewound it and made him watch it, because I thought what he was saying spoke to everyone. And I'll tell you one thing that I totally believe in, and this goes with hitting as much as pitching, if not more. And the one thing that I wanted everyone to take away from that, and I'm glad you brought it up, if you can't do it slow, you can't do it fast. And I thought that was very interesting, because I say that a lot. And by hitting, I mean, if you can't hit a BP fastball down the middle, you have no business turning up a machine to 90, a slider machine, a breaking ball machine. You need to program your swing to be dead on, just like you need to learn how to throw a fastball off the mound before you work on everything else. And I loved exactly what he said, and it was just so, like you said, insightful. And the mind of a guy who thinks like we do, you know, and time and effort is as much thinking as it is going out there and playing. It was awesome.
There's a 1-2 pitch, and it's a little bit low.
And I thought the other thing that I'd take away from that one also too was warm-ups are warm-ups. Doesn't matter what you do down there in the bullpen or in batting practice, it's a warm-up. So make it that way. It's not like I got to get dialed in right here, because when you go sit down, everything can change.
How about when you hear guys that have thrown perfect games or no hitters, and it's happened a bunch, where they say, when I was warming up, I felt awful.
Had nothing.
Couldn't locate anything. I just had nothing coming out of the bullpen. And then all of a sudden, they go 9 without allowing a hit. I mean, it happens a lot.
But I mean, think about it. They go out there and they throw, and they come and sit down for 20 minutes. You go and hit during batting practice at 4:30, and you come back out to play at 7. Like, where do you think that, you know, other than just feeling good about your swings and being kind of in a groove, where do you think that's going to translate other than just basically your balance? So why spend all that time over swinging and trying to do too much when it's not going to translate over?
And the runner goes, and Tommy chases it, and a strikeout. So San Martin, a couple of strikeouts, the 8th in the St. Louis lineup, but they lead at 8-0.
winning a lot of games lately. They also have a bunch of new daddies on the team. The phrase dad strength has been thrown around a little bit. New dad Nolan Arenado isn't totally sure about dad strength. He told me, well, lately I've been a little tired because I haven't gotten any sleep. Nolan said, I'm hoping dad strength kicks in and we ride it the rest of the way and finish strong. It's really cool that a bunch of us have had kids recently and all the kids are healthy, so it's really awesome. Danny, you and Jimmy have plenty of that dad strength, don't you?
Yeah. And as do you, Kat. We hear about it every day with his young son, Tyler Hayes. Jimmy, a great dad, always doing all kinds of things with young Tyler. And Jimmy, I know you're busy. I'm busy. Makes the world go round.
Yeah, who's not busy?
TJ Friedl grounded into a 4-6-3 double plays first time up. I was talking with the Cat about Waino's interview last night, and we both agreed. One of the things that he said, and I'm interested in your take on this, but he said routines are great until they become superstitions. And I thought, man, that makes a lot of sense.
That was another one of the things that I love. That was part of the warm-up thing. We talked about warming up as a warm-up, and then that's came to the routine. Yes, I have a routine, but it varies. And one other thing that made me laugh was, you know, you could tell that he was working hard trying to throw and get loose and talking, and he talked about how many pitches he'll throw in the bullpen, how it varies, and then he's always trying to keep everyone off guard, because they're sometimes betting down there how many pitches he'll throw in the bullpen before each start.
There is a project that Waino is involved in, and it's kind of the brainchild of Ali Marmol. And Adam's done videos for it. Albert, Adam Vinatieri. I mean, great players across different platforms, and it's called Versus. And it's a very powerful new platform, and it's there to help develop the skills both mentally and physically of players. Ozzie Smith is on it, and essentially you go to the platform and you can go in, dial in Ozzie and say, how do you feel the baseball? What are you thinking in the ninth inning? And Carlos Beltran at the plate. Adam Vinatieri has won Super Bowls off his foot. And Ali has developed this, and it is awesome. It is really cool. I mean, they put a lot into it. The production is magnificent. And I'm going to sit down with Ali and talk about that with him hopefully this week. But it's something that he had been working on for a number of years, and players have gotten behind it because they get asked these questions all the time from not only young players but coaches too. And it's applicable to the young player or that player that's even in Major League Baseball. I mean, it's that good. And it's well done. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up.
Well, I think it's smart because there's a basically an app out there similar that's just asking for people to wish happy birthdays and stuff. But that is more relevant to what we are all about because of the skill set with certain people. And to hear somebody talk in that kind of lingo, just like the thing last night with Adam, was just, I mean, it blew me away just listening to how simple he broke it down, because that's kind of how I try to keep it.
Down the right field line and foul.
Especially when you're teaching, you teach the simple part of it until someone gets it, and then it's like the slow to the fast. If you can't do it slow, it's like if you can't do it and make it simple, how are you going to do it when it's complex? And so I just really thought that was an impressive thing. And by the way, I know that they work for ESPN, but great job with Eduardo Perez setting that up and David Cohn finishing off.
And a drive into deep right and a home run. Third home run for TJ Friedl, and a long at bat results in a run for Cincinnati in the fourth. It's now 8-1.
Oh, if that was a cutter or slider, it was 88. Maybe a little bit of a cutter in between cutter slider, just kind of stayed there. You can see also by the swing, his hands kind of let go as he got out in front. Just stayed down and down the middle for a lefty. That down slot, like you talk about, Danny, a lot. A lot of lefties that like that ball down, down, and in, and that was right there in that zone. Almost like it broke right to the bat.
There's Nick Senzel, and that is line foul. I was in Ollie's office today for a long time talking about
yes, you were.
The interview with Waino last night. Skip Schumacher was part of our conversation. I said, what did you guys think? You know, having one of your players mic'd up, whether it be in a game or in that case before the game. And Skip said he saw them putting on the microphone for Adam before he went out there, and he said, well, I don't like this. And then he said, I watched it and I saw it. He said, I'm so glad that it happened. And that's it on a couple of hops to Tommy Edman. And I said to Skip, you know, one of the things I've talked to Adam about is part of growing the game is the access to the players. The game is about the players, ultimately about the fans, but fans want to know about how these guys tick. What do they do to get prepared?
Well, I'm just glad he pitched well.
But you know,
never happen again. But you're right.
The idea, though, is to get access, and hopefully we'll be able to do that more as we move forward in baseball. And I know Adam would be a big proponent of that, and I'm sure he could convince other players that this is important. There's another home run. Way out of here. The home run hit by Stuart Fairchild is fourth, and that makes it 8-2.
Oh, this is just Miles throwing strikes. Maybe taking a little off, not really having the finishing touches on the pitch. What do you say, Danny? The conviction of, you know, in a close game. And I thought the slider, the first home run, kind of just finished in the wrong spot. And here is just a sinker with nothing on it. Not this good piece of hitting right here. He pulls his hands in, and it's up there where O'Neill's home run was.
I think you would agree that Adam is a beloved figure in Cardinals history, and a lot of that, if not 95% of it, is because of what he's done on the mound. However, I think fans feel that they know Adam Wainwright because he's been so engaging with media or with the fans, and everybody seems to have a story about Adam where they ran into him and he signed a bat, ball, jersey, charity event, whatever.
What I love about him is whenever he wins and loses, he stands in front of his locker and he'll give you a really good explanation.
Thoughtful.
And it won't be, well, you know, and because when you do lose, you get bitter, right? And you have a hard time answering questions when you know the question's coming and you don't want to hear it. You're frustrated, and he'll give you the, you know, the really good answer. And there's times when he's gotten hit around a little bit, and he'll say, you know, I thought I threw some pretty good pitches and it just doesn't work out. And then other times he'll tell you when he wins, man, I think I got lucky a couple times. It's an honest and open conversation with him. That's why I love listening to his post-game spiels.
Good example of that earlier this year. I was talking with Adam. We were having coffee before getting on the bus, and I said, boy, that was kind of a frustrating game for you, huh? You pitched well and took the loss. He said, yeah, I pitched fine, but I can't walk a 190 hitter twice. And that 190 hitter came around to score a couple of times. And he said, when you do that, you lose. And he said, that's on me.
Well, and that's breaking the game down to the finest spot, right? You can say, well, I shouldn't have given up this hit or that hit, but breaking it down to simple as you can't miss to guys that are not swinging the bat well, or you can't walk the leadoff hitter or stuff like that. And that's what the game's all about. Not a guy hitting a 2-0 homer out of the ballpark. You know, that's part of the game. But the little stuff for these guys is what's most important for them, and that's not being able to get certain outs, the guys they think they should get out.
I said to Ollie, I said, we'll put a microphone in front of the face of a race car driver about ready to go 300 miles per hour, but you're telling me I can't talk to a player that is not, let's say, pitching that day, one of the starters?
I was shocked when I saw it, to be honest with you, and all I could think of was, man, I hope he pitches well.
And he did. Mound visit here with Mike Maddox. Labor Day is Monday, September 5th. The Cardinals and the Nationals next homestand, and that day 25,000 fans ages 16 and older take home one of two exclusive Cardinals patriotic bucket hats. Don't know which one you're going to get until you walk through the gates of Busch Stadium. Tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions. And the batter will be Chucky Robinson coming up. The catcher tonight struck out on a check swing his first time up.
He's done a really nice job behind the plate, I think, tonight. He's only been around for a little bit, 4 games in the big leagues, having a little bit of a tough start, though. 11 at bats and 7 strikeouts. That'll make you think twice about how good and ready you are when you get up here. Been there, done that.
He's one of the rare players in today's game that does not wear batting gloves. Will Myers, Matt Carpenter, Chucky Robinson. He said it's something that he's been doing ever since he was a little leaguer. Said I'm just more comfortable without the batting gloves. And he chops that foul. Cardinals turned a double play back in the second, 4-6-3. 2 home runs hit in this inning and a walk. And a hard hit ground ball that turned into an out.
Look at that bat, Danny. He might have had that since Little League. Got some serious ball marks on that thing.
Pitch number 69 on its way, and it ties him up 0-2.
That's his Wonder Boy right there. Probably brought that with him.
Big piano winner. Love the natural.
Me too. Not loving that bat though right now.
Just missed a bit high.
You know what that tells me right there for me as a hitter, as an older player? Consistency, right? That means the routine, the consistency, hitting the ball all over the bat, not holding it the same, not having kind of an idea of what, you know, like I always felt like I wanted to hit the ball in the same place all the time. But held the bat the same, threw the barrel at the ball the same so you could see what's going on. With all those ball marks, you can't really tell what's going on after the swing.
The 2-2 pitch. Pop back in foul and out of play. About an hour-and-a-half rain delay we had here tonight in Cincinnati, and we're going to be able to get this one in. Dakota Hudson and Justin Dunn, a right-hander tomorrow, and then Quintana and Minor, who's a lefty, in Game 3 of the series.
You were talking maybe if the game got called, you might do the old tarp slide. I was kind of hoping to see that.
Definitely thinking about it. I want to give you the enjoyment you deserve, ball game. If you showed up, you deserve the enjoyment.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to tell me it was my turn. I was like, those days are definitely over with these shoulders.
Did you ever do it?
No, I never did. When I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
With the old piece of plastic in the yard.
And that is off the plate.
You had to turn the hose on, though, because it never rained in California.
Pitch number 30 of the inning is hammered down the left field line. 3 home runs in the inning. All 3 no-doubters. This one a 2-run shot. And the first for Chucky Robinson in the big leagues.
That'll be one he won't forget. First big league homer, first big league RBI. Now he can retire that bat.
And all of a sudden, it's now an 8-4 game. Chris Stratton starts to throw. And a breaking ball of beauty into Jonathan India, top of the lineup here in the 5th. Line foul and out of play. 0-2. India has been called out on strikes and also grounded out to third. Michaelis has now allowed 5 home runs to the Reds, most allowed to any team that he's faced this year. And that pitch in the dirt. The smoke hovering over the ballpark here with the home runs, the fireworks. And a count of 2-2. The 2-2 pitch lined and just over Donovan and a base hit. 4th hit in the inning allowed by Miles Michaelis.
And all of a sudden you look, he's got 80 pitches and it's only the 5th inning. So clearly trying to throw strikes, trying to stay away from the walks, and yet Cincinnati's trying to make a game out of this.
Jake Fraley struck out swinging in the 1st inning and flied to deep right center, and that's going to be it. That will be it for Miles Michaelis. Staked to an 8-run lead, and it's going to take him out. Ali taking no chances, doesn't like what he sees in this inning, and he'll go to his bullpen. Eight to 4. Cardinals had an 8-0 lead, and now 8-4 after Michaelis gave up 3 home runs this inning, and Ali's not taking any chances. So going to his bullpen, and Chris Stratton, or Chevy, called to the pen. 49th appearance, pitched 3 days ago against the Braves, went an inning and a third, walked a pair, gave up a run. His breaking ball here recently has been much better.
Well, at this level, you got to have everything working.
And Fraley looks at a ball outside from Stratton.
Strike zone's gotten a little bit smaller during the course of the game, I think.
Going to look back at that long at bat by Friedel to start the inning is maybe the downturn for Michaelis. 9 or 10 pitch at bat. Gave up a home run. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I felt like that just the finishing touches weren't there anymore. Like he was just kind of, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's probably the ultimate professional out there and competitor. But a couple of the sliders rolled, a couple of fastballs didn't have any snap on them, and then just, you know, you're trying to throw strikes, trying to get your team back off the field, and the hitters know that.
So 4 1/3 for Michaelis. 6 hits, with 4 of the 6 coming in this inning, and 3 home runs. Fraley has struck out swinging in the 1st inning. Fly to deep center, 0 for 2. And the next is taken high. Kyle Farmer coming up, and this is how you allow a team back into it. walks.
This is definitely not what you want to see. If you were the manager after the weekend you just had against probably one of the better teams in all of baseball.
Stratton has appeared in 4 games against the Reds this year. 1-0, 3 innings, 4 hits. There's Farmer, who has grounded into 14 double plays this year. He's lined out to short and a single to right. 1 for 2. Not the same lineup when you don't have Eugenio Suarez, Jesse Winker, Joey Votto, Tyler Stevenson. I mean, the list goes on and on of the players that have left.
Guys are all over the league too.
Last 2 years, a dismantling of the club that went to the playoffs in 2020. The 0-1 pitch. Good pitch in on his hands, and it's 0-2. The 0-2. A ball and 2 strikes.
Isn't that crazy? You think about like the pitches that were called strikes early and the pitches that are balls now. They're balls, but they're a half of a ball. Talk about the width of a baseball, half of it or a quarter of it difference. And they're consistently balls.
He just got a piece. Or did he? No, he's trying to sell it. It's a strikeout. Farmer tried to stay in the batter's box and sell it as if he had a foul tip. That was not the case. So a strikeout and the first for Stratton tonight. Donovan Solano is 1 for 2 with a base hit to right field. Back in the second and hit a soft ground ball just in front of the plate that Kisner hopped on and made the play in the 4th. 9th man to come to the dish here for the Reds, and it's fouled back and strike 1.
Yeah, like you said, letting a team back in it. You're talking about up 8-0, and you don't let, but the other team brings 9 guys to the plate. Now what do you have? You have the St. Louis Cardinals team that now has been on defense for a long time and could very well be flat and a little frustrated.
And an 0-1 pitch by Stratton. Broken bat, hit to the right side, laid to the bag. Stratton, he's there though just in time. Did not break for the first base bag, but got there. Big inning for the Reds, and it's 8-4. 8-4 our score. And the Cardinals have the top of the lineup. Lars Nootbaar up and in. Second inning of work for San Martin. Nootbaar with an RBI single back in inning number 2 and a pair of strikeouts looking. 2 balls and no strikes. If you've just joined us, Albert Pujols with home run number 694 and the 450th different pitcher that he's homered against. That's now a major league record. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Serious crossfire right there. Add that with the camera angle that we're working with. It looks funky, doesn't it?
He's definitely crossfire to the nth degree.
Oof.
Be uncomfortable for a left-handed batter, but Nootbaar draws the walk. That's how we start play here in the 6th. I was talking with Brendan Donovan yesterday, Jimmy, about Albert Pujols I said, how old were you when Albert was doing his thing? He said, an infant, basically. He said, I had heard, though, that he was a great teammate and was a guy that I could talk to. And so he told me a story about a month ago. He was out of the game. Albert was out of the game. And Albert went to him and said, are you curious about what I'm watching on my iPad? Do you want to know what I'm looking at? And he said, yeah, I just, didn't want to bother you. And he said he
looking over his shoulder.
Yeah. He said he gave him a half-hour lesson of what he was watching, what to watch for. And he said it's probably the best 30 minutes I've ever spent in my life with another player. And he said he's been like that from day one with all of us young guys, willing to help us and wants to help us. So he's just been an incredible teammate.
Well, there is no substitute for guys that have been there, whether they're on your team or they're in the coaching staff. People that have done it, people that can sit there and give you the time and the knowledge. You can't have enough of those guys because everyone teaches a little bit different. And so someone's going to pick up something off of him that won't pick it up off of someone else. And it's great to have multiple guys that can do that.
And a pitch low and away, and it's 2-1. Your biggest influence was?
Probably early, definitely Rod Carew.
How about from contemporaries of players either you played with or against? The 2-1 pitch here for Donovan. I know you've talked about Big Mac being very helpful.
You know, it's interesting. I think for me, just early on in my era, there wasn't as much of that, but it was more like spotty. I got a lot of information from a lot of different people. Got some really good talks with Cecil Fielder. Obviously Mark. Tony taught me so much. I mean, probably the most of anything, just about the game and life, and not so much about one thing.
Backhanded and thrown into center. That'll be an error, and Donovan on his way to second base, sliding in safely from a double play to where Solano overcooked it and threw it into center field.
I think he was just shocked, if you didn't notice, that the shortstop was covering right there, and he picked up the second baseman, and he wasn't going to the bag, and I believe it scared him. But the thing for me too is, talk about a team not playing well. Watch right here from this angle when he throws it. Look where the second baseman's at. So he goes to throw it. That's the shortstop. So you see right there, he looks at the second baseman, and he is way out of the play. And so, I mean, that's rightfully so, right? You don't look at the bag right away. You look at for your guy and see how close he is, because you might have to, take an extra step or something. And so he just tried to hold on to it and couldn't. But great hustle by Donovan. But then another one, the center fielder throws the ball over the second baseman's head and just rolls into the infield. So a lot of chaos out there on that play.
And they will not let San Martin face Goldschmidt, who is over 3 tonight. Runners at second and third. And we'll see a pitching change coming up, a right-hander. We'll tell you about the changes when we come back. Goldie coming. New pitcher is 5 for 20 with a couple of home runs. Tonight he is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. It's our Chevy called to the pen. And the Reds will bring the infield in. And so many times this is when this year Goldie strikes. When you think he might be down, he might be off a bit. And he has been in the first 3 plate appearances, but then boom, he strikes. The infield in. Runners at second and third. And the first pitch taken for a ball outside. It's been Anderson, Detweiler, Kunal, San Martin, and now Strickland with 2 runners on and nobody out. And the 1-0 pitch. Goldie chops it to short. Runners stay put. And the first out. While we have a moment, quick word from Siteman Cancer Center.
You are someone's favorite person, and your health matters. For the lives you touch, schedule your cancer screening today.
The Cardinals need to get a run, if not two, in this spot here.
Yeah, that hurt right there, especially for Goldie and what he's been doing all year. To not get that run in.
So the infield in, 1 out with 2 on. Arenado is 1 for 3 tonight. And the first pitch. Arenado hits it out to deep left. And a 1-hopper off the wall. 2 runs were scored. Nolan on his way to second base. And in safely. He is driven in 87 on the year. And for Nolan Arenado, double number 35. And the Cardinals put up a 10 spot. It's now 10-4.
Well, we talked a lot about last year and how he wasn't satisfied, and most of it was his attack of the fastball. And I felt last year he was trying to hit the ball too hard. His body is so settled and his hands are getting out in front. So easy this year.
And here is Tyler O'Neill on base twice tonight, and O'Neill hits another, his second of the night. Tyler O'Neill is red hot. 2-run homer. Tyler O'Neill, his second tonight, into the seats in left. And it's now a 12-4 St. Louis lead.
It's 108 miles an hour off the bat. It's just a line drive into the seats, like you said. Got some serious power, doesn't he?
Big time. And it's Albert Pujols who is homered tonight. The first pitch, fastball low. So the Cardinals answer back here in the top of the 6th with 4 runs. And a 12-4 St. Louis lead. 12 runs on 12 hits tonight. Albert is 2 for 3. Two back of A-Rod. Arenado with a 2-hit night. And he's driven in 87 on the year. Pujols had a base hit to center and scored, and then the 2-run homer to right field. That came on an 0-2 pitch.
That's that pitch that he has to take. It's the one he's been taking. Kind of got even in the count. Looking for fastball.
And the 1-2 pitch to Albert Pujols on its way. And it's 2-2. So you have the right-hander Justin Dunn tomorrow, and then Wednesday night another lefty that's minor, and you'd have to assume that Albert would be in the lineup. Five of his 15 home runs have come with 2 strikes this year. The 2-2.
Six homers tonight.
And Albert would love to make it 7 and 695. They want to go in. Be careful. I mean, that's the pitch earlier this year at times he wasn't getting to, just to even foul off.
Yeah, it was just a little quick on everything. And what the thing was, too, is when you look for those pitches, you start chasing them farther and further and further inside. And even though it's just an inch here and an inch there on the bat, if you think about how much smaller that barrel gets and how much the timing has to be perfect.
The 3-2 pitch. And he walked him. On base for the third time tonight. Well, the Cardinals have received 4 walks in this game. That's the first issued by Strickland. And the batter is Corey Dickerson, who is 1 for 3. A single to right, run scored, fly to right, and struck out in the 5th. And that ball gets away, but Albert says no thank you. 12-4, I'm good.
Right off the shin of the umpire. Is that Mark Ripplinger?
Well, you got 12 hits for the Cardinals tonight, 12 runs, and Paul Goldschmidt is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Normally, you have that kind of night. Goldie's probably having a big part of it. Yeah. Normally.
Well, as we said in the open, when guys aren't hitting, the other guy's got to pick them up, and right now, that is what's happening.
And the 1-0 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. This big crowd can just feel the tension. You're in the crowd, you're thinking roll over the lineup again and get back to Albert.
Yep. I think about 4, 5, and 6 have 7 RBIs. Goldie with nothing so far tonight. So you're right. And you add Donovan in there with 2 more.
And a 1-1. A grounder and a base hit.
This guy is unbelievable right now.
Second hit tonight for Corey Dickerson.
He almost picks this off the ground.
Albert stopped.
Look at Albert's looking at him like, are you kidding me?
He stops at second, and it brings in Kisner. Derek Johnson, the pitching coach, out to visit with Hunter Strickland.
Dickerson has basically went from what, 215 to 220 to sitting 279. Now he's 1 more hit away from hitting in the mid 280s.
A reminder,
some kind of jump.
Billikens night returns to the ballpark on Tuesday, September 6th, when the Cardinals host the Nationals. Purchase of a special themed ticket, fans receive an exclusive Billikens themed Cardinals cap. For tickets or more information, visit cardinals.com/theme. And good luck to the soccer programs at SLU. Both the men's and women's programs are national powers, and before you know it, it'll be basketball season. And Chris May, the AD there, has got it rolling. Those sports. Kisner is 1 for 2. Walked and scored in the second, grounded out, and had an infield hit in the 5th. And the check swing did not go.
No, he did not.
Cardinals are 5 for 7 tonight with runners in scoring position. And they 1-0 off the plate, 2-0. The 2-0. And Kisner lifts a fly ball into shallow left. Fairchild under it to make the catch. And that is the second out. They're in the top of the 6th. Tommy Edman coming to the dish. He's 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles, and he's driven in 2. Tommy Edman, with the 10 home runs, he has stolen 26 bases. And the only switch hitter with that type of season in multiple seasons in Cardinals history is Frankie Frisch. He did that back in 1927 and 1928.
I was just reading his plaque the other day.
Well, he was traded for Rogers Hornsby. It was a very, very tough deal. Fans didn't like it. Sam Braden was the owner then, and Hornsby had salary demands, so he traded him away. And the amazing thing is that first year in St. Louis, Jimmy, Frankie Frisch had 617 at bats. He struck out 10 times.
I was reading when we were doing the Hall of Fame stuff, all those guys in the inaugural class that were never really talked about, all the old timers, and the dates and the stats and the people. It just it's mind-boggling to watch or to read and to just think about it.
And the 1-1 lifted in the air to the center fielder, TJ Friedel, and he makes the catch. Cardinals get 4 runs here in the 6th. O'Neill has a pair of home runs. Getting hot down the stretch for St. Louis, and it's 12-4. Back in Cincinnati, and the rain delay is now over. There's a look at your game summary. It's our second rain delay tonight, and the batter in this 6th inning is TJ Friedel, who is homered and also grounded into a double play. Stratton back out there in the first pitch. Take it for a strike. Friedel is 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout head to head against the Cardinal right-hander. Shift on the right side, and a breaking ball pulled near the dugout of the Cincinnati Reds. Delay of 36 minutes. Cardinals a commanding 12-4 lead on 13 hits tonight. They've out hit the Reds 13-6. Albert Pujols is homered. Tyler O'Neill with a pair.
We get one more rain delay or 3 more runs by the 7th, that would get a mercy rule. What do you think?
I like the idea, Jimmy. I'll be honest.
I mean, I've been, get caught up in the old 14U stuff so much and just getting used to it. Except when you drive to a game late and by the time you get there, it's over.
That's not a good feeling.
No. Mercy ruled in the 2nd.
Two balls and 2 strikes on TJ Friedel. And the next by Stratton is a called 3rd strike.
I'm guessing breaking ball right there. I'm guessing.
And the 2nd strikeout for Stratton in relief of Miles Michaelis, who went 4 1/3.
It's basically a heater right down the middle. The hitters will let you know. You see how late he got started. It's really hard. People don't realize it's really hard to look for an off-speed pitch and catch up to a fastball. You can see right there, your body, bat, everything is not even close to being in position. You can look fastball and adjust off speed, but you can't do it the other way around. It is physically impossible.
Here's Nick Senzel. How did you spend the rain delay, Jimmy?
I was watching a lot of young dancers over there behind the Reds dugout doing the YMCA in the rain, which I thought was a little bit bold to stand out there in that rain delay. But those kids over there were having fun, and I went and got a little snack and sat here and kind of just watched the rain come down. I was hoping for some lightning, but we didn't get that far.
No, we didn't get the lightning. That was earlier tonight. And the 2-0 pitch to Senzel is a swing and a miss. 2-1. Some of the folks have stuck around tonight through this long rain delay.
And I don't like the rain delay, but growing up in California, the weather never gets old.
Wait a minute, you like the rain delay or you don't?
I don't like the rain delay, but I love the weather. Like growing up without weather change.
Yeah, you like the change in seasons.
Well, I don't really love that either because I don't like the cold, but I do like the rain and the wind and the lightning when I'm safe underneath a big building like this. I just make sure everyone, that's why I was saying people take cover because they're putting the tarp out. People weren't getting the hits.
We'll make sure and protect you, Jimmy. You can guarantee you that.
When you see the tarp go out, folks, the rain is coming. It is not a tarp delay. It is a rain delay.
What are you talking about? You mean a tarp delay?
Well, they put the tarp out before the rain came, and people were kind of just staring, and then that should tell you rain is coming.
So
so we panned over to some folks, and they got caught off guard, and then comes the rain, and everyone got stuck in the aisles and got wet.
It's a pitch taken inside, and Stratton has walked his second tonight. Had a couple of long nights at the ballpark. Last night, the rain delay back home in St. Louis, and got into Cincinnati early this morning. And the pitch is backhanded by Arenado. A turn by Donovan, and out. No, they call him safe. Fairchild gets down the line, and the Cardinals made that as close as they possibly could.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of not knowing Fairchild's speed and Donovan taking his time because Nolan got him the ball so quickly. He could have gone a little bit quicker here, but playing all those different positions, I'm sure that isn't something that he does every single day, but caught the ball and made a strong throw. That's all you can do. Make sure of one. Nice play again by that guy right there. Wow. Nonstop.
There's Colin Moran, who is flying to left and walked and scored. Shift on the right side, and the first pitch is hit out of play. Want a souvenir tonight? This is the place to be. You're going to have a good chance to pick up a souvenir.
You just have to watch the game and get a good jump. You know, they do that. I don't even know what inning it is, but maybe the 7th inning, and they go around with that. It's a, what would you call that gun? Gatling gun or like a machine gun full of T-shirts?
Albert's got it, steps on the bag. Let's think about it during the break.
It's a cool machine, and I'm going to give you a little teaser, and we'll get back to that.
Wow, can't wait. Art Warren is the new pitcher, and this will be our Chevy call to the pen. Art talking to himself, getting himself geared up for this 7th inning. And the first pitch to Lars Nootbaar is taken inside and called a strike. It's the Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. Zach Thompson is getting loose in the St. Louis bullpen.
Warren can't hear the computer in his hat because it is so loud.
PitchCom.
PitchCom. Oh, you know what I mean. But it's so loud at the ballpark, it's having a little trouble.
Lined foul near Pop Warner, the Cardinals' third base coach. I think you were talking about the T-shirt gun, right?
Yes, yes. But it's like a ATV with this massive rotating, like old school Tommy gun. Shoots out T-shirts. Well, they look like they're baseballs, but I think they're T-shirts. What I was saying is, you were talking about the foul ball. I was saying same went for the T-shirt toss because they were just bouncing off of all the seats. Nobody was catching it, and they're just going up and landing. People are running for them.
So if you wanted a T-shirt, that was the time.
That was the time, yeah. You had to get a good jump, but you could outrun a few people.
There's a 1-2 pitch to Nootbaar. And taken low. Lars has been on base twice tonight. A single to right field. Picked up a run batted in, his 30th of the year. And he walked and scored in the 6th.
Now you'd have a really good chance.
Check swing, and he went. And a strikeout of Nootbaar to start this 7th inning. Brendan Donovan extended his hitting streak to 11 games with a single to right field, drove in 2. Also reached on an error and scored back in the 6th inning on the double hit by Nolan Arenado. I knew Nolan Arenado was one heck of a player. I mean, it was clear when we would see him with the Rockies, but it is on a nightly basis. He's making ridiculous plays. He's made 2 more here tonight. It's every night.
You know, what's funny is normally you would have to talk other organizations into saying, hey, you really got to watch this kid. He can play when you watch him all year. It doesn't really happen with superstars. You get to see the highlights, but he's one of those guys that you can say that about a superstar because you can't possibly see every highlight, and he does it on a nightly basis. It's not like you can say, you know, if you watch Tommy Edman all year, you'll really love this kid. He's great. Or Donovan. We all love the way he plays the game at third base, but you watch him all year and you're just like in awe over and over and over. It's almost like your home run calls. What more can you do? You know, how many more times can you do this?
Well, Nolan truly is one of the greatest players I think I've ever seen. And watching him every night, it's a treat.
It's just kind of solidifying the fact.
Here's Dylan Carlson to pinch hit for Goldie.
I think that was a really good spot here to get Goldie out of the game.
Well, last time they did this and gave him a night off. Now, he did have 4 plate appearances, but was the DH. The next day, he had 2 home runs and drove in 5 at Wrigley. So, gets a little break. And the 0-2 pitch.
Tell you what, this catcher they got here, I think he's going to be a good one defensively, man. He has been busting his butt tonight, and he's been making it look easy.
Carlson as a pinch hitter, 2 for 4 this year with a walk.
And Chucky Robinson, just 27 years old.
Taken high and off the plate, and it's 2-2. A full count and Nolan Arenado on deck. Albert Pujols is homered tonight. Tyler O'Neill with a pair, and the Cardinals 13 hits and 12 runs.
And that's the pitch right there that I was talking about. You have to lay off of. You have to know that that's coming, and when it's in that spot, it's going to go down. It's going to be a slider most of the time, if not all of the time.
And a swing and a miss, a strikeout of Carlson, and Warren with a pair of strikeouts. We stretch in game 1 of this series. It's 12-4.
On last night's national broadcast, they played one of the songs that Waino wrote and recorded. It was pretty good. It was surprising to find out that after Waino records a song, he sends it to his manager, Ollie Marmol, for some instant feedback. Waino explained to me, Ollie came to a team party at my house earlier this year and stuck around and listened to me play songs. My teammates left when I started playing. They're rap fans, but Ollie and his wife are music lovers, so I sent them a few of my songs. Danny Waino says he's gotten some good feedback on the song they played last night. He isn't planning on a recording career, but he isn't ruling it out. But it was pretty good.
I didn't hear it. I'd put nothing past Adam Wainwright, and if I was managing him and I want to get the most out of him, I'd tell him he was a good singer too.
I heard it and I was like, what is this stuff going on here? And then I realized it was him singing as I was walking around the house.
Zach Thompson into the game, and a ground ball that's hit to Albert Pujols, and the first out. Did you know that Waino's a musician?
Yes, I did. Well,
loves to play the guitar.
Always. During COVID, a couple of times I sent him a text and I said, what are you doing? And I said, you could come over and sit by the pool, you know, like my family's gone and your family might be gone if they're not. And he sent me a picture of him sitting in a chair with a guitar in his hand and out by the pool watching his kids. So I was like, well, you're in a perfect spot. But he's got that guitar with him everywhere he goes, and it's been like that for years. in years.
There's Jonathan India, and for a lot of guys, it's a way to relax and do something else.
Well, I think when you have friends that he has, especially one of his friends is probably one of the biggest music stars in the world, and Luke Bryan, and I think it kind of rubs off on you.
Swing and a miss by India. Good to see Thompson back in the major leagues, and the Cardinals could use him. Genesis Cabrera sent down, and another chance here for Thompson, who has pitched well at the major league level, and that's taken down and in.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys, Danny. His time is coming. You know, 24 years old. He's got good stuff. I mean, even up here, his ERA is only a 2.4. I mean, his time is coming.
And the curveball outside. Three and two. And a strikeout. So he's got the first two here in this seventh inning.
It's a good pitch right at the bottom of the zone. Umpires loving the bottom of the zone tonight. I mean, that is a good pitch, and it's a strike. Getting a lot of calls down there.
He's hit 97, 98 so far with that fastball. Here's Fraley.
That's, wow, 99. That's like a dart coming out of the hand down and away like that. It's just on top of you so quick. Nice smooth delivery. Reminds me a lot of Kershaw. That big curveball right there.
Wow. Beautiful pitch, and Fraley having words with the home plate umpire, didn't like it. And he's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Wow. How about that break?
When that ball goes through the strike zone, I don't know if I would get too much into it.
Still talking with the home plate umpire, Mark Ripperger. And the 0-2 pitch, Zach Thompson to Fraley. 1-2. 99 again, second one that he's hit at 99. The Cardinals will have in the 8th inning Arenado, O'Neill, and Albert Pujols coming up.
It's a different time, Danny. I don't know too many guys with only 400 at bats.
Can talk like
carry
that.
on a conversation with the umpire in a 12-4 ball game, especially with the strike zone, the ball basically going through the zone.
Thinking the same thing.
Different time zone. different decade.
And the 2-2 ground ball hit to the right side. Donovan is there and makes the play. Zach Thompson back in the big leagues, enjoying a 1-2-3. What's on tap, presented by Budweiser. Here's who's coming up for St. Louis: Arenado, O'Neill, and Albert. Oh, is the new pitcher. Began with Anderson, then Detweiler, Kuno, San Martin, Strickland, Warren, and now Jabot. Nolan Arenado will be pinch hit for. It's Paul DeYoung. We're in the 8th inning, and the first pitch is strike.
Let's see if you notice something. And watch him really close right here. I was having a conversation with him the other day about how he gets a little sped up, and I think we had the conversation. You see how you make an adjustment. You can already tell that he's a little bit slower. It's funny how you can see when guys are going good, and then when guys start to go a little bit rough. It's little stuff, like, right, like sometimes players can't even find it because they're so consumed with missing a pitch or why did I not get to that, and they don't see the whole picture.
And the 1-2 and the strikeout of DeYoung.
That was just a good old-fashioned fastball right there.
And the thing is, Jimmy, I would think you'd have to say it's there because when he went down, he figured it out. And when he came back initially, he had it going.
Then he talked about it yesterday on the plane and a little bit before the game. They said he just was feeling a little rushed and he was getting pitched in again. And, you know, I kept, you know, you keep telling guys that it's you know, you got to remember there's a lot of things. It's not just being in hitting position all the time. It's the combination of taking good pitches, getting strikes to hit, not rushing, not over swinging. You know, it's a lot. You know, you see guys like Tyler when he makes good adjustments where he'll take a pitch like that and not worry about the next pitch. He's not going to speed up because he took that one pitch. Good hitters just kind of relax and look for a pitch to hit.
1 ball and 2 strikes on Tyler O'Neill.
You have to keep talking to yourself. You're going to get a pitch to hit. You're going to get a pitch to hit, not, oh my gosh, I can't hit that.
Way inside and backs him off the plate, and it's 2-2. O'Neill with 2 home runs here tonight. On deck it is Albert Pujols. O'Neill is 0 for 2, couple of strikeouts against this right-hander. And now he's 0 for 3 with 3 Ks, and it brings in Albert. The Budweiser play of the game. Number 5 doing it again. Home run number 694. The 450th different pitcher that he is homered against. And that is now a new major league record. That swing came on an 0-2 pitch.
The follow through was everything right there. I mean, it's a little bit of a short porch there. That's probably still a base hit double anywhere or double, but the follow through, everything over the plate, shoulders going towards the plate, even if the legs leave, and getting backspin, and that is everything right there.
Here's a 1-0 pitch and a breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Some of the fans that have stuck around on their feet to try to capture more history. The 1-1 breaking ball did not go, and it's a count of 2 balls and 1 strike.
You see that right there? A little bit of rush, a little good fastball, right? And then you rush. So you have to tell yourself, I'm going to get a pitch. I'm going to get a pitch.
Albert got a hanger there and hits it to third. Solano has it, makes the play. 1-2-3 go the Cardinals in the 8th. And St. Louis on top. 1-0-5-1.
Where?
And coming off a weekend series with crowds the first 2 nights, he had over 46,000 at Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
Those were crowds. That was impressive.
Place was electric.
That and the Yankee series I thought was,
yes,
you know, I mean the you know, top billing. Obviously you got kind of like the Cubs weekends. You had 2 of the bigger franchises, the last champion, talented teams. It was awesome to see.
There's a 1-1 pitch to Kyle Farmer's 2nd inning for the lefty Thompson, and had him way out in front.
You know, and I truly believe too, when you play well on those weekends, it makes more people want to come back.
Oh yeah.
I always thought when we played, to win on opening day was a huge game changer. To lose on opening day, even though you have a good team, it's kind of like, oh man, you know,
it's a letdown.
Yeah, and then you might lose, you know, 10 or 20 or 100 fans for a while, and you win and people have a good time, and they're like, I want to do that again. That was fun.
Well, I think people,
I'm a firm believer in that,
come to the ballpark and maybe they're coming to see Albert or Yachty or Waino start. They walk away and are reminded if they have maybe been away from the ballpark because of the COVID situation or whatever the case may be. But you're reminded of how much fun it is to come to Busch Stadium on those packed nights. It's just a different experience that you don't see across the league.
Well, it's great for us as players too, and like I said, the electricity is just second to none. And when you have a good game and you play well in front of that crowd, I always think that keeps that crowd coming back. Like, they love it. It's like, for example, I grew up my whole life watching hockey a little bit. No hockey in California. The Kings weren't that big of a deal, even though Gretzky was there for a while. And then I went to my first game live, hooked.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And it was a good game. I was hooked because it's something about being here at the ballpark in a good game. And it changed everything about how I viewed the sport. And I just think it's the same way for baseball, especially, you know, like I said, in a city like that where, you know, fans are finicky too all around the league. And if you have a downturn, you can see the amount of people, you know, kind of dwindles a little bit, especially during school. You know, and what we had school started, we had one slow night and it was early. And then the next night, boom, 37,000 people again.
And the Cardinals will be back home Friday night. Enjoy the off day on Thursday after the night game Wednesday here in Cincinnati.
It's the race for the foul ball.
There they go. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5.
Oh, past it.
No,
past
come
it,
on. Yeah, you got to come
it,
down.
way
You're all
past
missing it.
No, you're cold. You're cold. You're really cold. All of you are cold. Getting warmer.
Missed in, and that'll be a 1-out walk, and the first base runner allowed by Thompson.
Let's just put it this way. The stands are so empty that they can't find a foul ball that landed 5 rows behind them yet. Still.
Shouldn't be like that here in Cincinnati, Jimmy.
Nope.
You played here. It's a great sports town.
They find it yet?
And they've had many, many years in which their teams have been very good.
All you got to do is look to your left, and that guy sitting over there in their booth remind you of how good these teams were.
Barry Larkin on that championship club.
Even in our generation.
Brought Ken Griffey Jr. home and had some good years. The Jay Bruce, Adam Dunn years were good years. Check swing.
Sean Casey.
The mayor.
The mayor. And Dempster was here for a while, right? Was he here?
Chicago.
He was in Chicago. I thought he was here for a year or so, but maybe not. But think about Arroyo.
Yep. Ground ball, and it is fair. And so Donovan, who's at first base now, gets the lead runner. That's DeYoung in the force play at second. Never take anything for granted. Play it out, and this wound up being a fair ball.
We'll go get this ball, yep, and play it. Look at that. He's in another position.
Yep.
You see Paulie's face right there? He lost that ball behind the runner's head. He was like, stick the glove out there. I think this is where it's going.
There's Nick Senzel. For so many years, though, you had the Big Red Machine. 80s, a little up and down, but they won in 1990. Eric Davis, that club against the Oakland A's, the heavily favored Tony La Russa Oakland A's of 1990. They were up 2-0 on the Giants in the playoffs. And the Giants came back, won 3 straight, and then eventually won the World Championship. One of the better teams that they had. Even the teams when Scott Rowland at the tail end of his career, those were some decent teams.
A 2010 year, got into the playoffs and got worked by Philadelphia. Roy Halladay threw a no-hitter.
2 balls and 1 strike. The fans have been frustrated with not only the play on the field, but the fact that they've dismantled the club and good players have gone on. Another ground ball left side and a force play at second. Good work by Zach Thompson. Sends us to the 9th inning. For the Cincinnati Reds, Alejo Lopez.
A growing trend.
Well, they've used Anderson, Detweiler, Kuno, San Martin, Strickland, Warren, Chabot, And now Lopez. So the 8th different pitcher used by David Bell in this ball game. It'll be 7, 8, 9. Second appearance for Lopez. Only the 3rd time this season that the Reds have allowed 12 or more runs. Pitch back on the 16th of this month against the Phillies. 2/3 no hits. And so he'll get Corey Dickerson, Andrew Kisner, and Tommy Edman.
Other than the fact of being young and being out of it, what would stop you from throwing a guy in the 8th and 9th instead of just the 9th in a game like this?
Just to save everybody, right?
Yeah. I guess if you want to see guys, it's different. But if you have a different kind of a team, to just go ahead and really save the pin. We've seen, let me see 2 position players in one night, but 7, 8, and 9.
Yeah. And the 0-1 pitch. There's certain circumstances that you are allowed to do this. And this is one of them with this type of lead and being up by 8 here in the top of the 9th. Nothing in 2 the count on Dickerson, who's got 2 more hits tonight. Fouls it back.
About 60 to 85.
Little jump.
It's just a little bit. Maybe that was his changeup. That was probably a little too much drop in there. It was supposed to be about 10 miles an hour, not 25.
Did you ever do this?
No, I always wanted to. That would have been on my bucket list. I did it in A-ball one time.
Now, were you doing it like just kind of making sure you got strikes, or were you letting it rip?
No, I struck out 4 out of 6, and I think I topped out at 92. I was a pitcher growing up my whole life.
Right.
You think I wouldn't take that opportunity? And then I couldn't throw or wipe or do anything for the next 2 days. I couldn't move my arm.
Too many details.
I couldn't do anything. I couldn't tie my shoes.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Dickerson with a drive and a 3-hit night and another Cardinal home run.
Does that surprise you? Not one bit.
Corey Dickerson with his 5th home run of the year.
This guy's unreal right now.
Cardinals with 4 home runs hit tonight. And St. Louis with their 14th hit and their 13th run. But that is the risk that you run when you use a position player, and you'll see it all the time where a manager says, look, I'll let you do this, but don't get hurt. Don't air it out. I don't care what you're thinking. Don't do it. Can't afford to do it.
Oh, got a little big.
Kisner pops out to the first baseman, Moran.
That's the kind of the key right there, right? I hit knuckleballers really well, and the key is basically just to sit back, relax, and throw your hands at the ball. Don't try to do damage. You just hit it and let it go wherever it wants to go.
And a fly ball lifted out to deep left. That'll stay in the ballpark off the bat of Tommy Edman. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
As the sun comes up on a crisp new morning, you're busy eyeing your next move. When you're ready to take on your next challenge, we'll be right there with you. Great support, Great Southern Bank.
I'm going homer right here. Oh, I owe you money.
Fly ball out to left. Found out more than I needed to about Jimmy's pitching appearance, and you always find out new stuff during a ball game.
Fun ball game.
Let's turn it over to Jake Woodford. Michaelis with 4 1/3, then Stratton, Thompson, 2 scoreless innings. And the new pitcher is Jake Woodford in our Chevy. Call to the pen. 9th inning, and the Cardinals big night offensively. Woodford made a start in Chicago and pitched very well at Wrigley Field.
I always think too, here you bring in Jake Woodford, at what point do you almost want to counter with giving your bullpen a break?
You know, I guess it all just, you know, depends on how many games you played in a row. I mean, you're looking at, you've got, this is your now 5th pitcher, right? 4th reliever. Oh, I'm sorry, 3rd reliever. I'm looking at Woodford. They already snuck it in there on me.
A shift on the left side.
But you know, are you going to counter? I'm going to raise the stakes.
There's a 1-0 to Fairchild and a pitch taken down. 2 balls, no strikes. He has a home run and 1 for 3 tonight. 13-4. Three and 0. Three and 1. You get these blowout games like this, Jimmy, and long nights, you know, a couple of delays like we've had tonight. But I can tell you, many years of doing this, you can always count on Tom Mee to be locked in. The outstanding longtime director of the Cardinals. He's just locked in.
His finger's got to be getting a little tired from pushing all those buttons, all those cameras.
Well, Nick Thompson,
voice is getting sore from yelling.
He's in there, and Brian Shapiro and Brian
those
McCann
guys in there, staying locked in for this long.
Keith O'Brien, and backing up on the play, it's Edman. Long throw and not in time.
It's Fairchild again from getting down that line.
Here's Colin Moran 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored tonight. So Hudson on the mound tomorrow. We'll have it for you here on Valley Sports. And a pitch off the plate and ball 1. Double play ball. And the Cardinals in out away from another victory and chance to go 21 above the 500 mark in a game above 500 on the road. That went 6-5-3 on double play. The second double play on the ground turned by the Cardinals tonight. And the final batter potentially in our ball game is Chucky Robinson. And Robinson, a 2-run homer, is first in the big leagues back in inning number 5. 2 outs, nobody on, and the first pitch is a strike on the outside corner. Brewers beat the Pirates on a Keston Hero walk-off homer. That's lined into the glove of Nolan Gorman, and the Cardinals take this ball game 13-4. Game 1 of this 3-game set.
That was a pretty nice day right there. Little offense, and you know what I like? They gave up some runs and they came right back and scored more, and that is what you need. I think that probably settled Ollie's stomach a little bit after watching the end of that 5th inning, but nice job with the offense today. Miles a little tough at the end, but the bullpen picked him up. It's too bad he didn't get those extra 2 outs. He could have deserved that win.
It was home run number 694 for Albert Pujols, and a home run off the 450th different pitcher in his major league career. Amazing. Tyler O'Neill, a pair of homers. 13-4 the final. Stay with us. Plenty of Cardinals coverage. Post-game show is next.